Okay, this assumes that you've already loaded EasyLogPro software. So find the icon on your desktop, looks like this, double click, and start the EasyLog boot up screen. Now you can choose between creating a new file or opening an existing one. In this case we're going to create a new one, so with a single click on that, and the next screen allows us to choose between an RFT probe and an eddy current probe. We're just actually adding near field and MFL, so this menu will change a little bit, but this demo is for a remote field probe, so this radio button is depressed. We'll go to the next screen, and this allows you to put in a file name. Let's just call it new for now, but this can be the heat exchanger number that you're going to be working on, the plant, the customer name, whatever you like. And then you can change the path where that's going to be stored. You can do that now, or you can accept this default path and change it later. You can then change whether you're inspecting a heat exchanger or a boiler, and whether the metric system is going to be used or imperial measurements. Put in the tube properties, the wall thickness and the OD of the tube, and the length of the tube. In this case I'm going to use a sample tube which is only 6 feet long, and I've chosen S178 material. So when you've finished that, you can add notes, by the way, here if you want to. When you're finished, just click finish and it will bring up this screen where you can now create a tube sheet map. Now there are a lot of features that you can do here and several different ways of opening or creating a tube sheet map. But let's start with the simplest. Just click this button, define a zone name. Let's just call it A, and let's say that there are 40 rows in this heat exchanger, and the number of tubes in each row is a maximum of 25. Let's also choose a 90-degree pitch for samples. I'll show you how that changes things in a minute. Okay, so now you have a block of tubes which you can position by right-click and drag. The zone name is up here, the row name is down the left side, and the tube names are inside the tubes. You can change the row name position by clicking on this button, and there are 3 options. It just cycles through. You can show the row names and the tube names, or you can have them turned off. Let's leave them on for now. Now let's say that the exchanger that you're inspecting is round. Well, you can create that round exchanger from this block of tubes by simply drawing a circle, left click and drag, and when you click this one it gets rid of all of the outer tubes and leaves you with this tube sheet map, which I see is not quite symmetrical, so we're missing a tube here at the top. You can see that there. So let's just add a tube by clicking the add button and click over here above where it should be. Oh, that didn't work, so I'm going to undo that and click a little bit further to the right. Now we have our tube added. Looks pretty symmetrical. No, there's got to be another tube added here. That's not right, so we'll go back and put that in there. Okay, so now top and bottom are symmetrical, left and right are symmetrical. These slant tubes look pretty good at first glance, so we're good. We can zoom in by using the I key, zoom out by using the O key, and drag around by using right click and drag. Now notice that the legend has already calculated that there are 444 tubes in this particular bundle. Now at the moment this bundle is not on EasyLog's tube list, So if you're finished with labeling and identifying tubes, you've got the right number and so on, you simply click this button to add the selected tubes to the tube sheet map inspection list. Let me just select them first by left click and drag. Oh, forgot that this is okay. Forgot that that button was depressed, so left click and drag to select them all, add them to the list with this one, and they change slightly to let you know that they're now on the EasyLog list. And if you look over here, you'll be able to see that in fact all of those tubes are on the list. These little squares on the right side are actually brackets, and if the tube is inspected once, you will have a 1 inside the bracket. If it's been inspected 2 or 3 times, the number will change to a 2 or 3. The zone is over on the left, the row number is next to it, the tube number, and these are all in alphabetical order. Now, another way that you can easily make a tube sheet map is to select a photograph from your computer. Now, once you have a photograph imported like this, you can deskew it. In other words, correct for any angle that you may have taken the shot at, and simply click on a left and a right horizontal row to define them. Go down and click vertical row and across on another horizontal row to make a basic square. Now, once that's done, the program will deskew the picture. And there you have it. So from here you can press this button to select all of the tubes that you can see in the picture, and when you release the mouse button you can slide this bar to adjust the level of sensitivity of the program detecting the tubes. Now, it will detect some tubes that aren't there, like these holes in the end of the exchanger, so you simply select them and delete them as you find them. Conversely, if you find any tubes that are not in the picture and should be, then you can simply add them by clicking the Add Tube button and clicking on where the tube should be. Once this process is finished, you should be able to click away from this and it will create a tube sheet map for you. Just go through and double check that you haven't missed any tubes and there are no tubes that are in there that shouldn't be. Once you're pretty happy with that, you can click that button. That one's just a deleted tube. Yep, all looks pretty good. So then you click this one, which is a check mark, and it will create the tube sheet map for you.